Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Jackson Black. Welcome to another episode of the Jackson Black Show with my guest tonight, the life of the party. Mike, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good, doing good. Another day, another dollar.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another episode. All everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything, and then later on Spotify and Pandora, everything. Thank you for tuning in, liking, subscribing, all that good jazz. All right, brother. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes. What made you fall in love with this business?
There's a few things. From a young age, my stepdad he loved like that real old school wrestling, and I started getting older, having more longer term friendships. And one of my now tag partner, good friend of mine, we played baseball together and stuff, and he just loved wrestling, and he's the one who got me into it. Didn't say I didn't necessarily already like wrestling ahead of time. He was the one that was like, let's wrestle in the backyard. And he's like, why don't you start training with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's try it out. And yeah, I loved it ever since. Like day one, I was like, I love this. This is so much fun.
It's a blast. So, who trained you up? Who was your trainer?
I trained in Cincinnati, Ohio, Ascend Pro Wrestling with Tim Lutz, Jay West, Tom Sharp, and Butcher Manson.
Oh, he had a collection of guys. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Head trainer down there is Tim, the old Timmy boy, Tim Lutz. And then he's got like a whole just mess of guys as far as trainers.
Did they all have like a different style to teach?
Absolutely. Oh, by far. Um, Tim was more of I don't want to say fundamentals, but it was he was like he'd see you do something and he would tweet like, hey, he goes, hey, maybe move your foot like this much, or stuff like that. Power move, like big power stuff, like big guy stuff. That was Tom. A little bit of Butcher too. Butcher was a lot of character. His character was a he'd always like look. He's kind of a crazy gimmick, and he helped develop a lot of stuff for character. And then Jay's a very technical, super technical guy, but doesn't mean none of them can also mix and match and do all the other stuff with it too.
So what was it like that first day you walk in for training?
So I got warned, like not like warned. I don't want to say warned. Um, so my tag partner, he trained about a little less than a year before I did. He started we when he went through the training, and then he told me like, "Hey, day one, expect this." I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever. I get in, and then he's we're talking about stuff, and he goes, "Well, we'll try bumping." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I didn't necessarily understand the concept of tucking my head, so my head was killing me. Um, I kind of had a little bit, it was like, again, he started training before I did, so he showed me, how lockups work and, expect this for running the rope. So I kind of progressed that beginning stuff like just a little bit more quickly. But man, bumping killed me the first day. My back of the head was just sitting there in bed, just like, oh, I need an ice pack.
Oh, that and then the this part under the arm from
Oh,
hitting the
yeah, that
ropes.
got bad
Oh,
sometimes. Oh, yeah, that's nasty. There's some days where like I'll go hit ropes, just like cardio type of deal. And when I first started doing that, it was like all just right there continuously.
this is the worst. This is the
Oh
worst.
yeah.
So how long you been in the business so far?
Uh, 3.5 years, I'd say now. Yeah, about 3.5 years.
Okay, so you got some stories locked up in there. We'll get to that in a second. I love a good story. So what were the guys you kind of looked up to? Probably like let's go. Who you like when you first got into it? I suppose you watched a little bit, just maybe just a little bit, and then as to now, like who are the guys you kind of? It's not stealing if you take from a lot of people, is what I've been told.
That's very true. Yeah. Um, So my day one, first guy I was like, that's the guy I love. Was CM Punk. Oh yeah. I can't remember what match it was off the top of my head, and I forget it every time. It was him and CM Punk and Jeff Hardy for the title. Um, and I want to say it was Money in the Bank pay per view. I could be wrong, but I fell in love with the story because I got to watch like, the thing before, and I was like, this is like I'm into this. And then when I started actually getting to watch some more stuff, I was watching a lot of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Those two guys through and through are by far like I'll say it outright. I put my own little spin on it though. I do my own shtick with it. And the more I've gotten into it, the more I've kind of appreciated the stuff that's come before me. Not what doesn't mean I don't love the current stuff, but the stuff that came before me. So as you see on the shirt, I got a little Dusty Rhodes shirt on. I just his work is just by far like he doesn't need he doesn't need to do anything, and I enjoy that so much.
That's that great style. I watched a match in front of me, and it was like two vets and two younger guys, and they just did arm ringers for like 20 minutes, and it was an amazing match.
Yeah, you don't have to do it. Like everybody talks about, like saving their bump card and stuff like that. I've been in so many matches where like I don't, I won't bump until like 10 minutes in. Like I ain't doing nothing, and it's one. We'll powder out. We'll do some stuff, and I'm not doing anything, but I'm telling a story, and the crowd's involved as long as they matter. They're the ones that paid to come see me.
Right? You don't want crickets. Crickets are the worst.
They I can't say I have for myself, but I've seen some ones where I'll peek through and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is no sound. Like there's nothing happening right now.
Yeah, it happens. It's terrible to see. I've only had it happen on like a debut once or twice, and they're just like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Like,
There are some times where it's just like it takes them a minute. Like I've had that even where it's been like it takes them a second, but once I start again, it's all about working them. They're the ones that came to see you. Um, just work continuously, they'll eat it up. I debuted in a promotion right outside Pittsburgh, and at first they're like, we'll see. It was like a triple threat. It was all guys that never worked there, so it's like, okay, it's gonna be hard, but we'll have to pull their teeth. By the end of it, lost their freaking minds.
I love it. You never know who you're gonna have chemistry with, and when you get in there, it's pretty cool. Because I thought
There's some
people that I was
guys. Oh
this is gonna be terrible, and then we go out there and it's just like, oh my God, you're so good.
yeah. There's been some times where I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to. Like, how long do we got? Okay, we'll be pushing that. But then you go out there and I'm like, man, I'm not doing anything right. This is awesome.
I enjoy I enjoy the walking and talking more than the planning. Like that's where it's at.
I'm happy to do whatever. Like for me personally, I'll go out there and we'll hey brother, what's the finish? We'll talk later. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm fine with that. If that's what's needed, that's what we'll do. But some guys love putting it together, top to bottom, left to right, and if they need to do that, it's fine. In the end, that isn't always what what always happens. um, we'll cut out maybe half the stuff, but again, to each their own in the end.
Oh, that's my favorite. I've been in a couple of them, and they're like, okay, so wait, we're not done yet. And I was like, okay. And then you get out there and it's like, okay, this is way better. Three things were done.
Oh, for a fact. And there's a trainer in my area. I've heard a story. Our former my home promotion heavyweight champ, he wrestled against out in Cody Hawk. He's the one who trained Dean Ambrose, LA Knight. And the story was that the guy named Savion walks the locker and goes, "Hey, we're working today. You got anything you want to do?" And he goes, "I'll talk to you later, man. We'll talk later." And he's like, "Man,
Oh no.
our match is about to start. I
Maybe
haven't
we
seen this
won't be
guy all
frozen
day.
for long.
I haven't seen him." And talked to him right before they went out and said, "Oh, we'll do this for a finish." Oh, Or we froze. Oh.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened there. That was odd.
But I say, like, you're
Anyways,
stuck on the face, and I'm like, he's really interested in my story right now.
oh, I got
um,
to the guy walks in, and then
oh,
that's
yeah.
where.
Walks in, and he's like, hey, man, we're working today. What do you want to do? Cody Hawk, the vet, goes, man, we'll talk later, man. We'll talk. And it's getting closer and closer to Bell, and he's like, Sam goes, man, I haven't talked to him at all. And we're about to go out. We're match, whatever. They're match right before us. Walks up and goes, oh, yeah, what do you do for a finish? Okay, cool, we'll talk. And they just walk out. Maybe said 3 words to each other before, and they go out and put on a bar burner. Like, I love that.
I love. You just never know where it's gonna be at. You never
Oh,
do.
never.
Cause me, I don't. I don't like talk. Uh, in the back. I'm like in my head because nerves are a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
So I get, yeah, it happens, and I'll be like, all right, bye. I'll come back to you in like 5 minutes before, and we'll talk.
Yeah. And again, I'm if somebody wants to talk, fine, like, cool, just give me some time. I want to go out there and just walk and talk. Hey, man, it's fine. We'll do whatever we got to do.
So speaking of the walk and talk, I've had that go bad before, where I swear I'm not even making this up. I don't know if you've had this problem. He goes, "Okay, now your turn."
I can't say I've had that. I can't say I haven't heard that though. I've heard that a few times.
Yeah, your turn. I was
Your
like,
turn.
okay, you're not gonna like this, and I was like, ba 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 ba.
I guess as they say now, time to get my stuff in.
Oh yeah, I went full Brian Cage, and I got my shit in, and then I did an Eddie Guerrero, and I grabbed his like gimmick and I tossed it, and then I fell down.
Oh, I
And
love those. That is like one of like the most like it's highly rated, but it's one of my most underrated stuff. I used that recently in a match. Like beginning, we're doing some stuff. He's trying to cheat around. He does a whole thing, and we do a I can do it better, so I go up and do the same thing on him. Shield throw by holding it on. He has a manager on the outside. Ref's distracted. I face bump. He got my foot. He got my foot. And the first time ever in the history of professional wrestling, the ref goes, "Did he do it?" The crowd says yes, and then he throws him out. Never saw it, but man, the crowd said he did it. Get him out of here.
Oh, I love it. So, okay, that's a good ref one. I've had, I don't know, again, you've been in a little bit longer than me, but I have had a couple of wild ref interactions. Have you ever had any of those?
I've had a couple. I have some that don't listen very well. I like to communicate with the ref when I can, using them to help go from point
Yeah.
A to point B. And some don't know how to do that, and it's fine. Everybody's at a different level of doing stuff, but I find that out at the moment. So I'm like, okay, does up was on, Bizoy.
Oh, I've had some bad ones. I had a guy, it's needless to say, I got like handled pretty well on the outside, and we're at like a 6 count, and I can't get up because I got handled outside, so I can't really move. And he counts to 10, and so I had to like grab him by his shirt and take him, walk him over to like the bell, and I was like, "You dumb idiot! You start this over."
You start this active right now.
Oh,
I've seen somewhere like where a ref probably should have been involved more and they didn't know, or like maybe a guy's bleeding and he had no idea, and it's like he's like bleeding, so it's like or just or again, somebody's hurt. I've seen a couple times where somebody's hurt and it's like hurt in the ring, like twisted an ankle, and ref just sits there and goes, "What do I do?"
yep.
It's scary.
It's funny you. It's funny you say that. That happened to me like 2 weeks ago. I was up and over and really up in the air like this in the corner. And then he never came. He just never came under. And so I twisted out and landed on my feet right there and looked down and he tore his calf.
That's a good one.
It was a rough night. It was a TV taping. And the
Oh,
match before, okay, the match before we cut like 3 minutes short because I thought that the guy that I don't want to give anything really away, but I thought somebody told somebody to wrap it up, and nobody told that somebody, and we wrapped it up way too soon. So it was a bad taping. It was very bad.
um, yeah, there's like having a good ref, having somebody that like can communicate very well. Again, I have a few that I consistently see, and I'm just like, oh, thank God! I'm so happy to see them ref my matches.
I love those guys. You're just like, okay, this is gonna be good. It's gonna
Oh,
be
for
all
sure.
right. So who's been like the toughest dude you've been in the ring with?
Toughest, probably like the toughest guy. So he's based out of Kentucky. Name is Omega Day. Um,
Oh, I
now,
follow him. Yeah, that guy's a freaking monster.
yes, that dude. Like, let me tell you, he is a ball of energy and intensity. And that's not it. And that's not just a character. That's just him. He's just a ball of energy and intensity at any second. Um, few times, I think by 3 or 4 times now, and each time I'm not like limping, like not like he's hurt me or anything, but like that dude's intense. I'm like, man, that's a dude right there, and he's known for his chops. And I decided I'm gonna be funny on again. It wasn't me shooting on him or anything. I told him ahead of time, and I'm like I don't know what all the hoop was about. Omega's chops aren't that bad. Yeah, that was me. We go into a tag match, and it was it was for the belts we had at the point, and man, he beat the snot out of me. He said, "Well,
Oh,
I have
definitely.
to now," and I'm like, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Oh, I've been in those before, and like you're in the ring, and you're like, fuck, let's do it. And then you get to the back, and you're like, I wish I didn't do that.
I'm like, I'm like Flair walking to the back. I was like, oh. I get back and I'm like, man, whew, I went into this just ready to go, and now I don't want to walk.
Can you carry me to the back, please?
So I've thought about it
Oh,
a few times. I've asked a couple refs, and they never do. It's upsetting.
oh man, yeah. So okay, let's go. We talked a little bit about the first match. I assume that you have captured gold in your career because you said you were the champion. A champ. What was it like the first time that you like got to hold a strap?
So the summarize first, and I'll go into detail. I had no idea I was winning the belt. It was hidden for me for months. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it was pretty great. So our mania, our big shows, our anniversary show. I win this thing like, hey, if you win it, you get a championship match. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm talking to the promoter for a while, like, hey, what do you got planned? Like, is there any ideas you have? Anything you want to like? I have ideas. We talk, and then the show comes up, and he goes, hey, end of the show. I want you to cut a promo on the tag team champions. They're going to retain, cut it on them. Like, cool, yeah, sure. I'm walking out with like a confidence of like a lion. Like I'm like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen to me. And I'm talking blah blah blah. And one of the two guys wasn't there until like recent. So he then chops me and stomps me in the corner. I'm thinking I thought he was shooting. I had no idea. I thought he was I thought he was trying to like. So I'm like, if you look at the video, my eyes are like wide open because I'm thinking like, what's happening? Throws me into the corner. They start working on me and they're talking to me like, just work with us. Okay, I'm working with them. And then all I hear is he puts his hand behind my back and goes, he goes, miss the kick. He goes, what do you say? He said, duck the kick, two bumps, blue thunder. I said, awesome, cool. Boom, boom, boom. I have nobody in my corner yet, and I'm looking over like nobody's there. What's happening? He's reaching, I'm reaching, and I just hear the crowd just go. My partner I've used other places, Justin Xavier, for our tag team, comes over. He runs a little thing, tags me back in, hit a finish. Had no idea I was winning it, and then I hear 3 count, and they hand me belts and go, "Here you go." I said,
That's the best.
zero idea.
I haven't got.
At all. Like I was like angry at first, but I'm like, ooh. Had no idea. I get to the back and everybody's just like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, I hate everybody in this locker room right now.
Feel like I didn't know how to react, so I thought it was a mistake, and I guess it's not a mistake. So like I got to go outside for a second. I can imagine.
Zero idea, and I was. They're like even the lady knew for months, and everybody knew for months, and they're all working me for the past few months. I was so mad. I was ready just to be like, forget this place.
They're like, sorry, kid, we need you back because you're the champ now, so you can't.
Darn.
Thanks. Oh man, that gold, it's pretty cool, and it in some places, there's some bad ones, but it lets you get those good matches, those matches with people that are like on your level or above your level, and that's how you get better.
Oh, yeah. I got thrown into a match at a place called Battle on the Border, and everybody in that ring or to do with the match is like, it's just through the roof. Again, I at that place I'm not tagging with my partner, but then I fill in and I'm his partner. And then Bobby Fulton's our manager, so I'm like, oh,
Nope, we'll come back here in a.
I'm sorry. Oh, were you froze again? Technical difficulties.
I don't. This is crazy. The government. Right when you start a story, it just.
It's the wrestling gods. They don't want anybody to know my stories.
Well, guess what, boys? You need to sit down, calm down, okay?
Where was I? What was the last thing you heard?
Battle. You're not with your tag team, and then it stopped.
Yeah. So I'm not with them there, but I'm the surprise person that fills in. Bobby Fulton's our manager, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of like a fever dream. It's kind of weird. And then we're wrestling Congo Kong from Impact, and he used to be Sawyer Fulton in the E, but Madman Fulton now around in the Indies and everything. And I'm like, and then their manager, he's somebody with who's with Control Your Narrative, and I'm just like, Am I supposed to be here? I was like, this is kind of it's just kind of cool to be like, man, this is like these are some like everybody around me right now is like is like up there, and I'm like, this is awesome. And go on and just go and have a killer match. They're awesome guys to work with.
You always love that. It's I've got in there with a couple of guys, and I'm just like I was literally just watching a match of yours, and like, how the hell did I get here? Like, oh, those are the best times. Okay, so now that we told, let's get a good road story going.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so carload of guys. It's me. One of our newer guys. I think he's working today. By that point, he worked like 2 matches. His name is Dalton McKenzie, or the Exception. Wrestles in the same area. Carson Drake, and then we're picking up one of the trainers, Tom Sharp. So we're on our way to go get him. We're like, okay, cool. We're driving. They like meet, and it starts snowing. And I'm like, it's snowing pretty bad outside. And they're like, we'll be fine. Once you got a highway, we're fine. So, okay, cool. We're going to pick up Tom, and we're driving, and he's like, oh, stoplight. Oh, brakes not work. All right. And then he starts sliding, swerving, hits a curb real hard. He's like, gets out, he goes, okay, car's fine. We're good, boys. Let's get back on the road. Like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry. And I'm like, you're from California, man. You've ever driven in snow before? He goes, never this bad, but don't worry about it. And so we're driving again. And he goes, okay, another stop. I got this. I'm going to brake earlier. I'm like, that's smart. I like that. He starts braking. This. You kidding me? And there's a car right there. And he goes, and it's funny because I'm in the back seat. All I see him is go and just hands up at the feet, 100%. Hits the lady in front of us. And we get out and we're just like, and she's like, oh, are you okay? She goes, yeah. And he looks around. And I've never seen a man celebrate so hard about no damage to a car ever in his entire life. He gets out, parades around her car, says goodbye, shakes her hand, gets back in the car with me. We didn't make it to the show, let's just say. But that all happened in a span of like, I don't know, 6 minutes.
Oh, man. I love it. That was good.
God. I always say I have to think which ones are I'm allowed to say.
Hey, you go for the fences. That as long as you ain't ruin anybody's life, it's okay.
No. Man, I gotta sit here and think about this right now because I got good ones saved in the back pocket, but I don't know which ones I
can say.
Belle, which one's a good one I can say? Okay, we're not okay. Don't if you heard that we're not illegal. We don't do illegal things. We don't do that at all. We like to cause terror in every Cracker Barrel we stay in. Cracker Barrel we go to though. I just love their food and I'll go there every single time. And every waitress just hates us. Just absolutely cannot stand our guts. We got a waitress that hate me. Not hate me. She didn't actually hate me. I'm amazing. Everybody, like, we sit down and we decided everything today was Mike's fault. Like, we got there late. It's Mike's fault. So we go sit down and the waitress then starts tagging along and she sees something's cooking on the wall and she goes, "Oh, Mike, why'd you break it?" And
oh yeah.
Or got a ticket going to Columbus, not too far of a drive. Me and partner were going up to our doing tag match, and cop pulls us over and he goes, "You know why you're speeding today?" And I was just like, "No, I'm speeding, don't even know her, man." And he didn't like that. He was not a fan of anything I had to say. He has license registration. I'm like, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm on my way to a show. I'm a wrestler." And he goes, he looks at me and goes, "I didn't ask." All right, cool, awesome. Looks at my buddy and he goes, "Where's your license at?" He goes, "It's in the trunk." And they go back and forth saying, "In the trunk, in the trunk, and the trunk" by 12 times. The officer was not like amused that our stuff was in the trunk at all.
Oh, you gotta love it.
He goes, "What do you mean your stuff in the trunk? Like, our gear's in the trunk. We throw our stuff in there, man. What do you want? What do you want from us?"
Because you ever try to sit on a wallet for hours? It's annoying, bro.
I won't do it. I did it like my first few shows, just long like long drive shows, and I'm like, this sucks. I'm throwing everything in my gear bag. I don't need it till later, anyways.
Oh yeah, all I need is a charger and my phone. We're good to go. That's all I need.
I mean, I don't even need my keys for them. As long as my keys are in the car, it's fine. It's one of the push things. Like, I just toss my keys somewhere and just push a button. I don't even need the keys on me. This is amazing. That, or if the lady's with me, she's got the keys attached to her purse. So it's the same thing. I don't even need keys.
Oh, you gotta love that. Gotta love that. So let's go to what would be your top 5 on your list? Who would be on there?
Top 5. I probably put Ric Flair up there for sure. I'm a big Ric Flair guy. I love his work. Him and Dusty, put probably Dusty up there. No order. I'm not gonna put these in any order. There's no way I could. Let's go. You gotta put Cena up there. He's done almost everything at this point. People love to hate him and hate to love him, but I mean, You can't not put him up there. Let's put a today guy. Somebody today. I'm a big Seth Rollins guy. Let's put him somewhere up there, just because he's reinvented himself so many times, and he's hit gold every single time. Let's go. Oh, there's so many. I feel like I feel like I'm disrespecting people, like ones I'm not putting on there, and it like hurts me deep down. Stone Cold. Stone Cold. My last one. I gotta have him be my last one. He revolutionized. I would say he revolutionized like that attitude era of like no authority, like no authority. Like I love that.
He changed how everybody had to do promos because you could say 3 words and then there'd be a what right after.
What? Oh, I love that. Oh, I feel so bad leaving other ones out. Like, it hurts me. Like, I hate. Oh, it was like I love like CM Punk. I fell in love with CM Punk originally. Like, that was my first guy. I was like, that's like, and he, I mean, he is that guy. And like Triple H, Triple H kills it every time he's in the ring. I hate that question so much. I think about so many people. Oh, it hurts me deep down that question. And then you got guys that people don't consider, and it's like, why not? Like Brock Lesnar has done a lot, and nobody really considers that one. Like Brock Lesnar's amazing. Randy Orton, I hear that a lot sometimes in the top 5, but you don't hear that one as often.
Oh, Randy was great when he wasn't even like known of yet in like the WWF, WWE.
Even
He was
at
already
times when he
there.
wasn't meant to be good, like they were like, we're gonna put you here just to fill in something. He was still killing it. Like he's over there like putting 5-star classics.
One of my favorites.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I enjoy watching his work. I love his I classify it the era of when he like just punt kicks everybody under the sun. It's such a fun little time to watch, because it isn't like his entire time. There's like a segment of his like career where he's just punt kicking anybody in the way.
He kicked everybody's, and then when he was RKO and everybody, chicks, anybody, didn't matter who you were, he was hitting you with an RKO.
Even the Dudleys did that for a while. That was hilarious. They hit the bomb on just I can't remember. It was some really old lady off of a stage. The name's escaping me, and I hate that. But just right just off the stage, and you know, kid growing up, starting to get into wrestling, watching that, just like.
I remember when they put Mae Young through the table, and then I rewatched that as an adult, and I was like, "Wow, that's the safest bump I've ever seen in my life."
As a kid, I'm watching getting grown up watching. I'm like, man, that is the most devastating thing I've ever watched in the entire existence of humanity. Now I'm watching. I'm like, dude, she was protected.
Like so protected. His whole ass went through the table, and he had her like cradled like a baby. It was crazy. Dude. I've never seen a more delicate bump in my life.
I would trust a newborn child to take that bump. How safe that looked.
It was a lot. They just did so much crazy stuff back then.
I watch a lot of stuff back, and I'm like, man, like as a kid or younger or whatever, I watched. I'm like, that was brutal, and now I'm like, it looked really brutal, but like, I bet you that was a super safe landing, or at least I hope it was.
Oh, that reminds me. It was like Jeff Hardy. I think he was on top of like one of the WWE trucks. It might have been like 2015, 2016, 17, somewhere around there. He goes for a swanton off the truck, and then it takes 40 seconds for the camera guy to get over around the trash can. I was like, Jeff might have got off target there because there was definitely a crash pad there.
Just a bit to the right.
Oh man. I love that kind of stuff. It's so good. Wrestling's hard. It's hard to do now. There's just so much. There's so many cameras. The illusion is great. I love all of it. It's
There's a lot.
that argument I hear a lot. I hear that argument. They're like, "Oh, somebody said fake to me," and I was like, "I'm really gonna open hand smack you. Like, I'm gonna show you a video, and then you're not gonna like what happens because that's gonna happen to you. Like, nothing is, bro. It still hurts. Like, stuff still hurts. Like, don't get it twisted."
There was God, I think it was there's an old it was when I think it was Taker and Vader were doing some I think I and they were doing an interview and they were not in the US at all and they like, Vader got in humongous trouble but he grabbed the guy and was like what'd you say and I was like man that's wild like he goes you know it's fake right and Vader just like and the guy keeps like poking him pretty much and he just grabs him and it's like what I hate that kind of
Oh, the
stuff.
Dr. David Schultz was the best one.
Who
Smacked
was
the
it?
shit out of that guy. He's like,
Sorry, cut
wrestling
out.
fake, and he smacks the crap out of that guy.
Yeah. Sorry,
Jesus.
cut out a little bit. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, no, somebody posted that the other day. I feel like somebody on I saw that. I sat there and giggled. Just like,
I was like,
yeah.
okay, so I'm not gonna keep you that much longer. I got a couple more things for you. Let's go. What? Let's go. What you got coming up in the next like couple weeks to a month?
All right. Sorry, I'm like an old man at heart, and I have to pull out like a list.
I feel you. I'd have the same list.
Let's see. Tomorrow, I'm in Boonville, Kentucky, Allied Pro Wrestling. June 3rd, Elite Pro Wrestling, also in Kentucky as well. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I got some other stuff not confirmed. June 17th, Ascend Pro Wrestling, free show. It's like we're doing like kicking off the summer tour type of deal. So we got some stuff going there, and then rolling into July. Got just bunch of everything every weekend. I love that.
I love it too. I got a rare weekend off this weekend, so I'm gonna do some editing and not get bumped. So that'll be good.
Save the bump card for a week.
I'm 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 like 195, but I'm only like 5'8", so everybody's a lot bigger than me most of the time. So
Hey,
I have to bump.
okay.
Like
Like my problem is I'm like short and stock. I'm like shorter and stocky. I'm not super tall. I'm about 6 foot. So like
see
I'm
that's
like
you
just
don't
right
have to
there.
bump all the time.
But then I'm getting in a ring with a guy. Like there's a guy. He wrestles at a place called NWF, Cincinnati area. Wrestled him up in Northern Ohio named Big Rex. And if your name has Big in it and you're in wrestling, you better be gigantic. This dude is gigantic. And I'm just like, yeah. If I'm in a ring with you, I'm bum
Bump.
bum bum bum.
Oh, you said big, and that's funny because sometimes uh, at the muddier of shows, there'll be like a big guy and he's like 5'7" and like 170, and there'll be a little guy that's like 6'4" and like 400 pounds. And I'm just, who named you guys?
Like who came up with this? You got like these outlaw mud shows. You got Big Jim over here, and Big Jim's all of 227 pounds.
It's just like
He walks
coming into the
thick.
ring,
He walks thick, and it's like, what are you doing, dude?
doing this thing. I can't get through doors.
Sorry,
Love
dude.
it.
2 hours fit through doors. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, so let's hit them with let's go give them all those social media so they can go follow you and all of your actions to come.
Yes. So Facebook is where I am primarily the most active. Party Mike Howard. Party Mike is combined because Facebook doesn't like nicknames for the beginning. You got that. You got Instagram. And I apologize. I have to read stuff off because, again, I'm old at heart. Life of the Party _ Mike Howard. You got the good old Twitter sphere. I'm starting to get more active on there. I'm trying my best.
So hard.
LOTP _ Party Mike. I got TikTok. Got a couple of videos posted. I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I'm pretty amazing. That one's just Party Mike Wrestling and YouTube. Life of the Party Mike. I got a page with all my different matches I have on there weekly.
Okay, here comes the big one. So, okay, your last match of your career, you leave the boots in the ring, you're done. You hung it up. What do you want your legacy to be in this business?
That I did it. I get told too short, fat, whatever. And I'm a short, stocky guy. I know my belt. I don't need somebody over here telling me I can't do this. Like, I've heard people say stuff like, the only way you'll get a belt is if you go buy it somewhere, type of deal. Why would they make you a champ? All of them. And I want to do a metaphorical degeneration next sucket to all of them, every single one of these people. Very metaphorical, obviously. But like, people always say, what's your goal in wrestling? We're going to get to. I don't like to be blinded by one set goal. My next goal is the next step. Whether the next step is, working more TV, get signed, go to overseas, do this, do that, do this, do that. Whatever it is, it is. That's the next step in my what I want to get to as far as I can.
Love it. Okay, well, that is a good response. A figurative suck it to all you haters. You know who you are. You're the ones that watch stories but don't like.
Yeah,
and I don't like you. That's the worst. I'll get like 4,000 to 6,000 views and 6 likes. I know you're watching, but you're just hating, and keep doing it. It just pays me eventually. So thanks.
You know what? You're paying for my success. I will take it.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another invigorating, exciting, enticing episode of the Jackson Black Show. My name is Jackson Black, and this has been the life of the party. Party Mike, how you doing, baby? All right, I'm going to hit the outro. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in.